What's up, people? Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. Of course, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. It's been a wild one in the Champions League, some crazy Europa League and Conference League action as well. But of course, it's the big one at the weekend, possibly the most important, biggest game of the season.
Newcastle.
Newcastle. Absolutely.
Ninth place, baby.
The mid-off, the ninth place derby. We here at the Cup Chasers could not be more excited, of course. But yes, Man City at Anfield. We got stats, we got previews, we got predictions, of course. Hopefully Arsenal can go top before they play at home to Brentford, looking to smash the Bees, of course. And yeah, like we say, the Monday game. It's at the Bridge, right, guys? Newcastle at Chelsea. Yeah. So we'll definitely be getting to that one as well. And we'll do our predictions for the rest of the games. Should be some good ones. Villa hosting Spurs right before the big one on Sunday. That is pretty much the fourth place playoff. So definitely excited about the weekend. And if you're as excited, go ahead and get those likes up right out the rip. Of course, subscribe if you're new. We're on our way to 200 to 500 and, of course, to 1,000. And, of course, if you're enjoying all of the content, get that little notification bell on. All right, we'll start with the Champions League. I've got a bone to pick with Real Madrid. If that's what Heritage AFC is, if that's what, that's some preferential treatment. We'll just start there. I'm just saying that's some Bernabeu treatment that they've gotten there. Vinny doesn't get sent off. Kroos doesn't get sent off. I'll tell you, man, the Champions League referees so far have been very lenient. Mm-hmm. They've let a lot of stuff go across all the games. Across every game I've watched so far, it's been a lot more lenient. And maybe we're just conditioned by the softness of the Premier League these days, but they're letting a lot of stuff go. And I find myself wondering how Rodri catches a ban, a 3-match red card ban for hardly even touching a guy. But Vinicius at home in the Bernabeu,
gets to put his thumbs in somebody's trachea.
Nothing. Even, I wasn't the only one who thought Madrid were absolutely terrible. They didn't deserve to go through in this tie. That's how poor they were. Even the commentator at one point said in the first half, he goes, if the first half would have gone on any longer, we would have seen the white handkerchiefs. Now, you guys are familiar with this, right? At the Bernabeu, if Madrid are playing really horribly, say they're losing to Girona or Mallorca, perhaps, the fans will get out the white handkerchiefs and start shaking the handkerchiefs at the players. The whole stadium will start doing it. Yeah. So the guy was like, they're about to pull out the white handkerchiefs. Madrid are playing so bad. I was shocked. I was truly shocked. Of those games that were on Wednesday, because City was the other game, I was like, man, both of these are dead games, but the Leipzig game is closer. They've got some pace on the counter. And then Madrid didn't even show up.
Nope.
Did not even bother to show up to the game. Talk about arrogant.
They knew all they needed was one counter where he was going to hit a break. And that's all Bellingham's pass is clean, though.
That was dirty. That was a dirty assist.
Yes.
How are England so bad? That's the conclusion I got from that.
Well, they have Harry Kane. Harry Kane can't win games. Period. It's the curse.
Well, actually, he can get the nod home off the deflection from a yard out.
But he can't
hit a beautiful goal.
He hit one of the most important PKs of his entire life, though. He just sails at C19, has to hit the Tottenham fan. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like so far in Champions League, it's just been, if you're the bigger club, you're going to get the nod.
Yeah.
Bayern or Lazio held out for a while, but here's the thing. If Ciro Immobile dunks on him, that is a different game. We might be having a different conversation and laughing at old Harry Kane, because not 5 minutes later, it's over.
Yep.
It's over. Fox in the box. Old Harry Kane wearing his Fox mask. But
just absolutely falls to him. Just so trashy. I felt so bad.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, though, especially if Man City draw Real Madrid, if Madrid play like that in either game versus Man City,
3,
smash them.
4, 3,
smash them.
Easy.
Destroy. If Real Madrid, and listen to me carefully, if Real Madrid draw Arsenal and play like that, I'm not saying just in general, I'm saying if Madrid play like that, Arsenal will smash them. That was horrifying. I'm shocked. I was very, very shocked at that performance. And hopefully they bring that if we get them. Because anybody could beat them at the Bernabeu playing like that. I'm shocked Leipzig didn't. Openda should have scored 3 times. Yeah, they were all over him. I was shocked.
Yeah. If the first half goes differently like it should have, it would have been interesting to see how Real would have responded, because I know that they are still pretty injured defensively. Like they're still without Militao, and I know that Rudiger was back.
He had a good game. Rudiger was the best of their defenders.
As to be expected. Just being truthful. But it will be interesting to see, because it feels like in the league they're not really challenged that much.
They're 7 clear.
And I think that is where you see teams, especially in the Champions League, struggle. It struggle because they're going to not know how to respond, and that's kind of where Madrid was not doing so well when Benzema went just insane in the Champions League. It's because they were used to losing at times, and they knew they had to respond. This one, it was just like, we'll let them have a goal, maybe 2. And it didn't really seem like that they tried to really push it.
Didn't need to either. They were right.
That's why I'm so bitter. That's why I'm so bitter, because they went through.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're justified in the way they played, knowing that.
Well, they didn't even play that well at Leipzig.
No, didn't need to.
Yeah, it's the ridiculous.
Minute they tried, the 3 passes where all of them actually tried, it's an immediate goal.
They scored immediately. Immediately. It took getting scored on for them to realize they could score themselves. Whatever. But Paris cruised. Paris cruised, absolutely. And that brings us to the Etihad, the empty had. Lewis, what you telling me about old Copenhagen? Easy stroll or broken fingers?
I mean,
I caught the highlights, but not the whole game.
No, I watched the game. It was, it was interesting because I kind of saw that lineup coming. Like, there was no reason to really play like the guys in this game, which we talked about last podcast. It was good to see Gavardiol back. I like the Kovacic Rodri pairing. I knew Alvarez probably would play. I actually didn't expect Haaland to play as long as he did, but that's because Nunez's finger injury actually made him stay on longer, because the sub was not supposed to be for him. It was supposed to be for Haaland. And so the sub was out of order. And Rico Lewis got to play. And Stones played. He replaced Diaz. I thought it was a good game to just get your bearings. It's good that, the quote unquote main guys, they got a week of rest. So, that part is good. So if there are any, as they call them, niggles or anything like that, those guys can go forward. I think Pep listens to the podcast a little bit because they asked him about why did he play Haaland so long. And he said, well, he's a striker. He needs to get rhythm because he has to find it, which is something that I've been saying for like the last 6 games, maybe 7. And the goal he scored was a very good goal. It was a good goal in there. It wasn't like one of those, weird ones. He had a really solid goal.
It was a really good goal. I went back and watched it, and
yeah.
I mean, you're expecting the defender, of course, to not close their legs on trying to, block it. But to pull it back like he did and scored the way he did, and it had power. Like, it was not like squibbed into the goal. Like, that was a no doubter. I came away very, very impressed. I remember I saw Saka do that. I think it was against West Ham, if I remember right. And then KDB had one here recently. So I just think that in itself is a quality goal. Anybody can try to shoot for the corner, but to actually go near post like that makes life on the keeper so difficult, especially with how quickly he pulled it back. Like, that keeper was in no man's land.
Already leaning the other way.
The great part about the goal was he read it because the defender went in front of him towards the far post, and he knew the keeper would read that too. So the keeper had no reason to read near post because of what he did.
Mm-hmm.
When he went near post, I mean, it was that the reason, and that's part of the reason why I said it was a good goal, because those are goals he would have skied or hit somewhere else. He needed that kind of goal so he could, like, that was a true striker's goal. Like, he created that on his own, and so for that, I thought that was a really, really good goal. I think I think Akanji might have made him a little jealous because Akanji's goal was so good.
Oh,
and
it was
beautiful.
Good. Such a good
banging of a goal.
But which made it weird, the fact that Alvarez's goal was such a hashed up thing. Like, the keeper, I'm like, dude, where's your W at, man? Like, I was like, what is that? Because even Alvarez was
shocking. That was shocking.
Was that the one where he tried to catch it and went through his hands?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was rough.
As a keeper, you gotta.
Where's your W's, man?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he could have caught that.
He should have caught it. I'm saying that, but I mean, if the ball's swerving like that, which, I mean, it didn't have a ton of swerve on it, but it did have some movement. He should have just tried to punch it away.
He hit it right at him. Like, he literally hit it directly at him.
I know.
So I don't know. But I mean, Copenhagen got a pretty good goal as well. I'm not going to take anything from them on the goal they scored. That was a really good goal. And I mean, there were several times the commentators said it was like a training session. But the thing about it is that every game you have to find a way to start working on new things as you go forward. So if you can get a goal, then you start working on new things to see how you go. And, it's good to get these other guys into form, in their legs fresh. So, who knows? Pep uses 5 subs. Pep uses 0 subs in future games. But it's good to kind of get those things underway where everyone feels a part of the team, because that's all you're focused on. You're focused on the team.
Do you think it was Go ahead.
I think the goal that they scored was kind of more of a warning for the weekend, because it looked like something that Liverpool would score.
But those are the types of goals that City has been getting scored on. Those exact type of goals. I mean, the commentators called it 2 days like those are the goals. Those are the shots you have to take against them. But you just have, they'll give you that, so you have to take them. So which means you got to hit them.
Absolutely. So Pool won 5-1 in Prague today. And obviously that's going to be a boost. Does this win for City, is it just business as usual? Yes, we needed to get this done and now it's out of the way. Or is it more of a, yes, all right, that's a boost, we're ready to go?
In my opinion, I really think, it's about that I say it, maybe they think it too, but I think they just take them one at a time, man. I think the guys who played took the game seriously. and they wanted to, get the result. Obviously, getting the early goal was very important because it dictates how much you kind of push yourself going forward. When the second goal went in, then it was a matter of, do they go for
We're having
6?
fun.
Right. Do you go for 6, or do you just kind of control the game? And you could see they were just kind of trying to control it after the second one. They weren't going to push themselves too terribly hard, just because you don't want goofy injuries and stuff like that to happen. I mean, obviously Nunez's injury is one that you get, because Nunez literally dislocated his finger by falling down. Like, he went in for a tackle, fell down, fell on his hand weird, and his finger went that way. And it was funny because nobody wanted to look at his hand, because people were like, "Oh, he's soft," and then they saw his finger, and he's like, "Oh, he is not soft."
His bone is in half. Oh,
it's like in basketball when somebody passes you the ball and you like keep your eye on it, but you glance away at the last second and it just jams your finger all the way up.
Yeah, man.
I love how you're coming.
Yeah, man. So it was one of those things where you try not to have those. I mean, just in regards to Poole, I mean, I don't think anyone expected him to not win this game. And I mean, they played a pretty strong lineup, so it was good. Nunez got two goals. McAllister had a good game. Diaz had a good game. Robertson was back. I mean, they let Virgil rest in this one, so a bit. So, I mean, you expected it, and you just
I think Konate got hurt again.
Who?
Konate.
Did he?
Yeah,
I think so.
No.
Kwanzaa played today.
Really?
No
He did get hurt because Van Dijk came on for him. But
that's so bad.
Is he out for this weekend?
He's huge.
Hold on. The Athletics got a story. Let me look.
I don't know.
Huge.
Now we're all looking it up.
Yeah, man. Well, you got
Rambling. You got to. Yeah, that's a big.
Klopp played it down according to this as Anfield.
That might not be a big deal.
Okay.
It says it's not yet clear. Muscle problem. No, we don't know. It said
as he was running back towards his own box.
Klopp said that Konate said to him, quote, "No, we don't know." Or no, quote, "I thought if I did another sprint, then it could be bad." So that sounds precautionary.
Yeah.
I mean, just like I expect Salah to play, Konate will, of course, want to play. He'll want to be there for the weekend. And segues are weird, but we will go ahead and move on to Anfield. Whew. Lewis, Manchester City have not won at Anfield, but twice in 25 years, 2 victories at Anfield.
Yeah. The funny thing is
are one of those Peps? Has Pep ever won at Anfield?
Has to have.
I think he won. I think he's only won.
Had one.
I think he's won one.
Hey, you know who did win at Anfield and the Etihad?
Of course.
And the Emirates.
Of course.
Just saying.
1 win, 2 draws, 3 losses.
Ooh, Pep did it.
In 16, Pep won there in 16.
Holy cow.
1.
Was it non-league?
Yeah, it was a League Cup. It was a League Cup game.
It was a cup.
Oh, he's never won in the league. Oof.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Man,
a lot of draws during Pep's reign, but
this one's tough, dude. This is.
I think it's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be. I don't
even where do we want to start? I don't even. This one's so tough to call.
I make a prop bet that Noodles hits the post twice.
That might exist. You might be able to find that somewhere.
Bet all of my season points on Noodles hits the post twice.
If he doesn't, then if he
post, and then you would be just.
If he doesn't, I wear a Potter in shirt for a whole week.
Done. Yes. Done. That's yeah. I'm with you. I'm with a Pottercino shirt.
Pottercino shirt.
Yeah.
Have him cooking up a cup.
Oh man. So I'm just wondering. I think it's all going to come down to who is in the lineup for Liverpool. What's it look like? And if Szoboszlai looks like he's back. McAllister.
They'll have their midfield back.
Will definitely play.
Huge miss, bro. That's a huge.
He's missed 14 games this season with muscular discomfort.
Yeah, they keep bringing him back too early, I would imagine. Same thing we do with James.
For me, I think it's going to come down to Man City when they don't have the ball, winning the second balls, right? Rodri scooping up from those long diagonals. Obviously, if they don't challenge for the first ball and the likes of Salah and Diaz are able to just bring it down, then it's going to be trouble. And there isn't an opportunity for a 50-50 and then a second ball, then yeah. But I definitely think this is going to be fast-paced. I think it's going to be Liverpool are going to be absolutely animalistic in their press. I think the atmosphere is going to be ridiculous. The last Klopp v Pep, potentially, if they don't meet in the FA Cup, this is the last time we'll see this matchup. Yeah, man, Anfield is going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. I mean, I can't even imagine. I bet tickets are like on the second market, on the back market or whatever. I bet tickets are crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Pounds, you name the currency.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. But I think Salah's going to pop up with a goal. Go ahead, X.
I was going to say I'm going to look up what a ticket's going to cost.
That's what I'm looking right now.
Oh, you're looking right now.
I definitely think Salah, big game mentality. If he's 100% fit, he's the danger man. Definitely going to pop up with a goal. I feel a Haaland goal, of course. I think Katie. I mean, all your big play. I think this is a big game for big players. I think they're all going to step up, and I think it's going to be an absolute classic.
Get-in price is £357 per ticket.
I don't know if that's good or not.
I feel like it's like $450 a ticket.
I feel like it's
that's
probably
get-in price. Like there's nothing less than that right now.
Gotcha.
On what I'm looking at, I looked on StubHub, but they don't have any tickets available. So I looked at
it's probably sold out.
Live football tickets.
Yeah. So what you saying, Lewis? Nervous? Excited? Fearful?
I always look at these games, and I mean, I think I mentioned this earlier. I was like, City Pool, man. Like, I think we love City Pool, right? I mean, Jurgen Klopp is a manager that, even though, the wind, the grass length, the stitching on the ball, you're going to miss all those things about him. But, you never take away the fact that he's obviously been and is a quality manager. And, he's always made the City team have to play their absolute best going forward. I think there was a little bit, specifically in Anfield, an advantage for them because Liverpool is, and I can say that historically is a more, because it's not like news, is a more historically accomplished team. They're just in history. I give them all the respect in the world. I mean, they've won everything, and they've had the resurgence recently.
What's up, VTEX? Nice to have you back, buddy. This is X.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
He's gonna go in on Chelsea.
He didn't mean, yeah.
I was about to say, we're just
wait for the Chelsea segment.
So Liverpool's a super accomplished team. I know I'm one of those weird fans. I respect what they've done. I respect that. X kind of feels that way a little bit too.
Yeah, X is on that train at the moment as well. VTEX, real shame he's supporting Chelsea.
Kind of with you.
It's a real shame.
But his colors don't run, so
No.
No, they do not.
It bleeds blue.
So with that, I mean, it's funny, the way I use statistics to actually call games or whatever. It's literally the worst thing ever. I'm going to tell you exactly what it says and how it says, Lewis, you just have to pick on your own. So Liverpool ranked number 2 in goals per match. City ranked number 3 in goals per match, 2.4 to 2.3. Ranked number 2 away from home this season. Liverpool, even though they're at home. City ranked number 2 away from home this season. Same exact stat. Mohamed Salah is ranked number 1 in created chances in the competition. Erling Haaland is ranked the top scorer. Really, there's nothing there. Like,
it's a boxing match. Yeah,
it's literally nothing there. And the other thing that I look at the form. Last 5 games, they've literally almost scored the same amount of goals in the last 5 games too.
They're all on form, right?
There's nothing else there. Like,
Allison's back too, right?
No, he's out.
No.
Oh,
But Kelleher has been standing on his head though. Dude, he had some great saves in Prague today.
He had some great saves against us, man.
Yeah. So so Trent's out, Allison's out, Gravenbach, and the ones that Curtis Jones, the regulars are out. And I mean, they already knew that. I'm excited about the game specifically because, obviously it's not a plug, but we get to fundraise for some kids who want to play ball. So I'm super excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoying the game. I go in the games and in my head, I already had to score. I normally don't pick before today, but for this one, I have a 2-1 City, right? But I really think it's just going to be one of those games where I think that because of the magnitude of where it is and the fact that he knows this is not happening again. This when Klopp leaves, this is realistically the end of City Pool. That's City Pool was Pep and Jurgen. And so City Pool this is the grand finale of it.
Yep.
And in almost every case, Liverpool has, been victorious at home. I think City comes into this one as a different team because they've actually overcome some hurdles. So they can actually, like when City played Liverpool in the Champions League and they beat them in the face, and Liverpool absolutely dominated them in that one. I mean, they rocked the bus on the way there. The players came out shook. And I mean, Anfield is Anfield, man. I give them all the credit in the world for that.
You're facing that again. I guarantee they're throwing eggs at the bus again. That's happening.
But here's the difference. Here's the
100%.
difference. But here's the difference with that. That team had
delayed.
That team hadn't won. This team has won. Like they literally can kind of puff out their chest because they're like, hey man, we won everything. And so
Haaland's going to get off the bus like he was looking at Dan Burn last season.
And the thing is, I think they're super excited about playing the game. None of the guys who were like in the Copenhagen game were looking like they were antsy to get on. And, I know I stand by the one game at a time. They played that game, and once they knew it was over, they're like, yep, let's just make sure we take care of ourselves because it's time to play those boys. And I think they get up for it. They love playing those games. I've not seen a City Pool game that has been bad recently. I think most of, if not all, are really good games. I think City wins 2-1, and it's because I think Haaland has found his form, and Foden is absolutely on it. I think De Bruyne, he had a rough one last one where he was kind of middle of the road. So he'll be definitely back on. Kyle Walker needed the rest. Kyle Walker normally plays better with a rest in between because I expect to see Walker, Stones, Diaz, and Ake. And then Rodri, Bernardo, De Bruyne. I really think he's going to play Alvarez out wide, and he's going to play Foden.
Out wide? That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, if you saw in the game that they played in Copenhagen, that's where he was playing. He was playing on the wing.
Okay.
The whole game he played on the wing.
Sure.
And so I expected that because that's the front three that I've been wanting.
Yeah.
So I think
for ages.
And I think that's what they're gonna get. And I think they're up for it. I think they really feel like they have something to prove still. Because you ask what do you have to play for when you win everything? Well, there's something to prove in this one. You gotta go there and get one. And so I think they're up for it. I think Liverpool will also be up for it, but I still think it's a 2-1.
Fair enough. Vtex here says In his opinion, City are not in good form currently compared to how they've been playing. Liverpool gonna wipe the floor with them. Well, he says Liverpool might wipe
Is
the
this
floor.
the
We don't
same
put words in.
Liverpool that had to have help to get their one goal against Forest last weekend?
No, that's kickback. Don't respect. Play down.
Yeah, no, that's just Paul Tierney. That's just you can't. That's the whole isolation. Paul Tierney does things. Paul Tierney
He
things.
does do things.
He does.
It's
I think. Go ahead.
Real quick, it's the same way that I went into the derby because even though this is not a derby, this is derby material.
It's a rivalry.
And so
a new age rivalry.
In these cases, because City Pool is a thing, that the form thing doesn't really.
I'll fight you. The pay-per-view will be against you.
The pay-per-view
will be me and you.
So I think that you throw out all of those other things because again we're looking at it. I mean, City 3-1, 3-1, 6-2, 1-0, 1-0. Pool 5-1, 1-0, 3-0, 1-0. It's literally the same score line. So I mean, I'm just saying
it's gonna be a game, bro. This is the game.
I said what I said. I'm gonna give it to y'all now.
I think form is just out the window, man. I think that Pool are flying high, despite
plenty.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Hey man, we're the one having to expand our stadium because we have too many fans. I don't want to
because it's falling down now.
I don't want to hear the empty head.
But I think that both teams.
That dude is a
Trafford falling down.
He's a Liverpool fan. What are you talking about?
But
and Etihad has been renovated. Don't do that in my stadium.
I wasn't shooting at your stadium. I was shooting at theirs.
I was.
Oh, X was.
I was.
I know he's not trying to come at the Etihad, which is clearly a better stadium.
It might be better, but it's got because it's got you know what.
Well, it's been so unused, so few, so much, not a lot of foot traffic. Not a lot of foot traffic.
I thought about this today. The funny part about the jokes with the Etihad, since people are literally watching the games globally and seeing people in the stadiums, that the jokes are now just salt, and so it's funny because now they're just pitiful jokes because there's no one there. Now they're sad.
Look,
because
Lewis,
they don't have anything.
Look, man.
Of course it's salt.
But
of course we're salty. You win.
That's why Lewis is getting
all the time
this weekend because for once, City are coming into a game kind of not the favorites, and they don't know how to act, man.
They actually okay.
No, I think City probably are just
no way.
favorites.
There's no way they have them
Go
favored.
check it. Go
Man.
check it.
Over Liverpool at Anfield.
Go check
on
it.
Klopp retirement tour year. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
Well, Michael Oliver is the official. I don't think he has any allegiance to either.
And here's the great part, because if I talk about Liverpool's history, and then because I'm a history teacher, right? Well, I was a history teacher, so I know how dirty some of that money is. So we gonna talk about Liverpool money because
Liverpool's money.
Because yours is historically World War-y bad. So we want to go there because that's not where we want to go with oil, right? Yeah. Because that's not where we want to go, because we can go into the real history, right?
According to BetMGM, City is half a goal favorite.
No way!
Yeah.
What?
Absolutely are.
What?
I would almost take this.
Please take it.
The over-under is 3.5.
Lewis, oh.
It's 3.5.
Take it.
Go $100 on that?
Go take it.
130. It's a 130 money line on City and a 175 money line on
You
Pool.
have not experienced the Klopp retirement tour firsthand, and you're about to, buddy. You're about to experience it firsthand, and you're gonna feel what it's like to get a goal that you desperately need for your club's sanity.
I'm gonna
get ripped from you.
So if we go into the Klopp retirement tour, how many close like this close almost get you? Where's the you're almost gonna get you?
They're almost gonna get you too, bud. They're almost gonna make that call, and they're almost gonna make that offside.
Don't tempt the football gods, Lewis.
No, man, I'm telling you, Klopp retirement tour. That's all I gotta say.
Well, don't tempt them.
Yo, we should make that like a shirt for our Liverpool fans to buy, and they would understand. They're like, "Yeah, Klopp retirement tour, awesome."
Yeah. Oh, we should have coined it.
The Klopp retirement tour. Yeah, but I've heard Gary Neville say it too, so I don't know if we would.
Stole it.
A1.
VTEX is calling a Man City crumble.
Oh,
Liverpool 4-0.
It's gonna be like
that would be awful. That would be awful. Look, the worst outcome for Arsenal is the pool victory.
Is the pool victory.
Then City victory, then a tie. I need a draw, really.
You do.
But if City win, that's okay because we can still beat them and still be ahead.
I want to go back to the history thing that it said about Van
Gogh.
Yeah.
Yes, I was going to bring that
It's
up.
quite funny because imagine thinking modern politics that we can see just about everything happen is dirtier than the old-fashioned politics. Imagine thinking that.
Yeah, the stuff that that goes on
that we're finding out about now.
But look at the way that history relates to football is the way the politics we've seen just in our lifetime.
Yeah. They got rid of my owner.
Look at Sepp Blatter. Just look at what happened to Roman Abramovich. Look at Sepp Blatter.
Now
heads will roll, bro. They will chop your head off in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
It means
so you think they just now got dirty?
No.
Hey, VTEX, we'll be back on Monday. We'll be back on Monday for you. Come back for your money from Nez's oil money. We'll be here, live and coming at you. But yeah, but see, like he's saying, I can see it. I can.
I get grilled. I know it's coming.
Oh yeah, the game of the weekend. Newcastle are going to do some grilling. Don't worry, VTEX.
Sir.
Newcastle are going to do some grill. I mean, we'll get to that. We'll get to that cooking. But I think that Poole could win 4-0. I don't know if they could win. I don't know.
You think there's a game where
there's not a reality? There's not a reality where City's not scoring.
Where City don't score. No, see, yeah, you're right. City will score.
Man.
I can see 4-1 either way. I can see 4-1 in either favor. For either team. I actually don't think either team will score 4. I could see it, but I don't think either team will score 4.
If it is, it'll be a 4-4 like it was.
It'll
just be sloppy.
And then people will say it's the greatest game ever, even though we all know it was awful.
Even though everyone was bad.
Yeah,
man. It's so tough to call. I think that for me, City are the better team. City should edge the game, but the Anfield effect is so phenomenal,
rocking right
so
now,
dumb that I'm calling a 2-2. I think it's going to be a 2. It's going to be an awesome, incredible 2-2.
Yep.
Chelsea really doing a Mike Tyson to Patrick. They really are.
No, I always talk about that, but I don't because it confuses me anyways.
X, you're going with a 2-2 as well?
Yeah, 2-2. I think it's going to be an amazing game. If the worst case scenario for me here, City has to score first. I feel like if City are the team to go down first, Anfield will absolutely erupt, and that is in City's 22. That's in City's worst.
4 to 22.
That escalated quickly
because Anfield is where it is. It's already a historic stadium to try to walk into and take points out of.
Absolutely.
They're not only are the players trying to do this, and it's a dangerous game when you get the players bought in behind the manager in this regard. It's very eerie and I know. But the way the boys played under Tuchel to win that Champions League, they would sacrifice everything for him. When your players are drinking out of your shoe after you win and hoisting you up and not making it about themselves, that is the same mantra and the same mentality these Liverpool players have taken to win Klopp everything they can before he leaves. Because the old guard is still there trying to win everything for Klopp before he leaves. And with that culture that's been bred, and then you have Anfield on top of that, sold out tickets, going for, what'd you say, Patrick? 800 just to get in? 300 just to get in?
It's like
It was like 450.
£307.
Yeah.
It's almost £4. Yeah.
Just to get in. Like,
Well, VTEX might know. And VTEX, bro, British. Is that?
so
Aren't you a Liverpool fan, VTEX?
That's what I said.
Are you going to the game?
so the thing is when Anfield amplifies that, the players are already trying to win this for Klopp. They know this game can solidify a huge moment in the season to make the Prem that much more obtainable. If they go up a goal and get that crowd behind them, we thought Newcastle was rocking and rolling last season, and it's a hard place to go into last season. Like, that atmosphere is going to absolutely, and that's what I worry. I don't think the City players aren't accustomed or mature enough to handle it. By no means am I saying that. I'm saying that when you walk into that atmosphere, and that's the mentality and the situation you're walking into, trying to play through that down a goal, bro, I just really worry for that, because then you are looking at a Liverpool trying to build on that, and Mo Salah hits because he feeds. We've played, you feed off that, and it gives you that edge. It does give you that I can't do any wrong, so I'm going to be more acrobatic. I'm going to be more inclined to try this dink and dive move instead of running straight at my man, because the crowd's going to love it if I mess up. The crowd's going to love it if I hit it. Why not go for the goal? So it's just, I really worry about Liverpool going up first, but I think it's going to be an amazing 2-2.
Speaking of gassing it up, did y'all see what Trent said? Oh, look at this.
Nice.
VTEX owns a season ticket. That's awesome.
Nice.
Even I can resell it.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah. Dude, that's awesome. You're going to be at the game. That's fantastic.
Do you
absolutely.
sit in the cop in, or where do you sit?
Yeah, where are you at?
Not
600 for a season ticket. I don't know if that's enough to be in the cop. I don't know, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be absolutely awesome. But did you hear what Trent? Did you hear about what Trent said on wherever he said it?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
About how Liverpool's trophies mean more to Liverpool and their fans than Man City's trophies do to Man City fans, because they did not spend money like Man City have spent money. I agree with X. Don't poke the bear. What are you? You're not even playing, bro. Trent's not even playing.
Can't poke the bear from the bench.
2.5 hours. Hey, man, 2.5 hours to Liverpool ain't nothing for this game. It'll be all worth it from the drive from Nottingham, VTEX.
When I lived in England, I would always, it was chasing girls though, but I would always go from Norwich to Ipswich to Birmingham. I would go around, man. I love driving around there. So you make time where you hop on the train and you find your way.
It's very interesting to think about the difference between British people's view of long distance driving in hours. Because it's nothing for us to get in the car and drive 10 hours to Florida or whatever.
Yep.
In one day, no problem.
2.5 hours is driving to Atlanta. That's
it's 2.5 hours is not bad at all. But we're used to that. England is so much smaller. Isn't it like from London to Newcastle is like 8 hours? It's like the longest drive in the whole country, something like that. That's the longest away day is London clubs to
drive. Wow.
It's like Bournemouth to Newcastle is like the longest away day. Yeah.
I've been on a road trip that was 36 hours long.
Hey, man, don't you hate on Ipswich Town, man? Ipswich Town was a wonderful place for me.
The Canaries, right? Like that's
apparently Ipswich is
you go to Ipswich. Go to have fun. They was like, hey, you're a Yank, and then I didn't pay for anything the whole night. So yeah,
nice.
Let's go.
But what you saying, Patrick? What are your thoughts on this one?
All right, so I've actually thought about this one a lot. I was kind of surprised because I was watching Liverpool today and went City yesterday, and kind of came away with some thoughts about how each team plays. But I was also thinking about the intangibles. Of course, Anfield, that is an intangible that you really just can't measure. But I also think we need to take into consideration the pressure is on Liverpool right now.
Oh yeah.
They have to perform. They have to keep their lead. And, say what you will about Poole and their previous success. A lot of the players that are going to play in this game for Poole did not experience that success. Salah did, Van Dijk did, maybe Robertson will play. I think he's going to play. But the others haven't. And I think that speaks volumes when you're going up against a team like City, who has that experience. Even in players who weren't on those City teams, they have that experience. They've been there. They know what it's like to go into a stadium where everybody is pulling against you and finding a way to win. So I have decided to go with an absolute barn burner, first off. But I think that City has 3 goals in them, like I always say. And I think Liverpool has 2. So I'm going to go 3-2 City.
Ooh, big call. Big call for sure. It's so tough when you think about it to see anything but a City win. But then it's like it's Anfield. But it's City. But it's Anfield. But it's like, so I'm just back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
listen,
man, I'm excited.
It's sunny, so it's not a real picture because it's never sunny.
Yeah, it's not raining. It's not raining.
They fabricated the whole thing. Those, they had to get the rain clouds and the rain out of the picture to put the clouds and the sun in it. It's all Photoshop. It's not an actual picture.
I mean, our game against Brentford was 2 extremes. It was bright and sunny one moment, and then it's a downpour the next.
Yeah. Lewis, how long has it been since you've went to England? Since you were in England?
It was about 10 years ago. I wrote it though.
Oh yeah, there you go. Nice. I didn't know that y'all could answer in the chat. That's what's up. That's good.
I had never connected my stuff, but I put it.
No, I didn't even know, but that's awesome that y'all can do that because I can answer in there as well. But mine comes up as the Cup Chasers.
Yeah,
I didn't know y'all. That's cool.
It'll just be X at Cup Chasers if I log.
Yeah,
in.
that's what's up. That's cool.
That's awesome.
I get Patrick. I get your points, and the thing is, I appreciate. I mean, I've given praise to Liverpool the whole time. I mean, I respect the opponent. It's like you mentioned. I think you said boxing. I respect the opponent. I'm not going to ever go in there and say, hey, we're going to wash him. If we do, I'm cool. But, I think it's going to be a fight. But I just look at if I'm going round for round 1 is Haaland versus whoever their striker is. I'm going to take me round 1.
Noodles, baby.
It's Noodles. Did you see? I mean, he's on fire. Noodles is killing it.
It's Noodles. It's gonna be.
That's a spicy bowl of noodles right there.
So then if we go, so we got Salah. So if we're matching like star to star Salah, so Salah would have to be either the Foden or the De Bruyne. I maybe wash. I don't know. That one's a wash. So then you have to go to the other players. Alvarez. Well, I don't really see. Maybe McAllister, but I don't know. Right. And you go Foden because again, if you have De Bruyne and Salah, Foden, who's your counter to that? And
Diaz.
They don't have a counter to De Bruyne.
Yes.
No,
but that's why I said Salah because I feel like sort of legacy level wise, I would say it's Salah. I think those guys are on level.
I see what you're saying. I thought you meant in like as far as positionally.
Who's good for the match?
They're not going to match
the moment of magic is equal in at least somewhat equal in both. There's a moment of magic in both.
Then the superstar power is Salah and De Bruyne for sure. Right.
And then if I go to the midfield, I got Rodri and I got Bernard.
That's where that's
playing. That's where I don't know if they got.
Hey, we already know it's a draw. We already know, bro.
It's twice
we already know.
That's a draw.
Twice.
That's a draw.
Come at me.
Okay.
And then with Tuchel, if we had Tommy Tuchel back, we win. So I don't want to hear it.
But I think do we think that Endo will play? It's very interesting to see because sometimes he puts McAllister in the 6. But I think if he's got Szoboszlai and McAllister push further forward, helping with the press, then Endo will be in behind him, and that might make up their strongest midfield. But I still feel like they're going to try to skip it most of the time.
Yeah, I think so.
You don't want to play through that midfield because that's the weakest point in the matchup.
It is.
Like,
That's where
Lewis is getting at. Yeah, this is the weakest point in the matchup is in that midfield. McAllister's not as good as Rodri. I mean, come on. Slavasai's not as good as Rodri.
Well, it's all about the matchup, right? They're going to try to match up with them. So in Liverpool's press,
Good luck.
They're going to be all over Rodri. I'm expecting it to be Sabazalai.
So I think, and that's why I think Bernardo plays in central again, because that's what he kind of masters.
Sterling would miss the target without Haaland.
We scored 5 goals on him this year.
Where's Sterling? Where do you see that at? Am I not reading something?
He said if Haaland was Chelsea's first team starting 11, who would win?
Haaland versus.
He said Sterling would miss the open goal, so Haaland would still win.
He would miss the open goal.
I'm not going to dump on Sterling because he's.
I will.
You should.
I will.
Yeah, you should. Just go
I
for
will.
it.
I'm actually here. I got you.
and you know, I get VTech.
There you go.
Liverpool fan, so he didn't like Sterling either. Even though Sterling was like just coming out, when he was there. But yeah, I guess is the matchup Salah and Walker? Is that right? Or is it Salah and Ake?
It'll be Ake. Salah v. Ake. Yeah, and Diaz will be against Walker.
Yeah, I like. I mean, I'm good with those matchups. I'm fine with those.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are favorite. I think Ake is possibly the most underrated player in your team.
Yeah, he's been amazing. So then, if you go centrally, I mean, I'll take Diaz and Stones versus Nunez.
Nunez.
Pick them.
Well, it's going to be who Nunez decides to go to. Probably Diaz.
Yeah, because Stones will be in front of him, so Stones will probably be moving more up and down the field. But I think it'll be a good game. I hope it's a good game.
I don't know why you're hating on us. Y'all win cups when you play us. I don't know why you're hating on us.
Talk about Liverpool. Yeah.
Well,
we all prey on Sterling anyway. We're all seeing his downfall.
We're gone. I mean,
I don't know. Lewis might like Sterling.
I never hated on Sterling.
You can have him back. I'll give him to you.
Won a couple of titles for him.
Give me your washing machine. You can have Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, you can.
All I need. The spare your spare tire to the bus. I'll take that for Raheem Sterling.
For Raheem Sterling, yeah. But yeah, man, this
fans pop it. Y'all can't get to the stadium, but we won't get there.
I think that it's bad. It's very, very bad news if Liverpool win this game for the league.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not over, but it's pretty close to over at that point.
Gonna be hard momentum wise to.
I mean, who are they going to lose to? They're not. It's not going to be at Old Trafford.
Nope.
You never know.
That's a 6-0.
Legacies end.
Yeah.
Ten Hag.
That's my thing. So I really need City to show up.
I would like for them to show up as well.
Yeah, I really do.
I think it's going to be
I want to draw because
it's the best news for you. Selfish.
Yeah, if they draw, it's very likely that I'm on top of the table at that moment in time. But yeah,
Ivan Toney is lurking. That's all.
Segues are very, very weird. Speaking of Ivan Toney, Saturday, Arsenal have the opportunity to go top of the table if but for the night. Ivan Toney visiting the Emirates, an audition, perhaps, what you might call it.
Bro, I hope y'all spend all your transfer money on Ivan Toney.
Me too. What are you talking about?
Isn't he 20?
Bro, what are you talking about? We've scored 31 goals in 7 games.
Yep. And when you
without a striker.
When you get somebody like Ivan Toney, that's all going to get funneled.
No, definitely not. It's definitely not.
Y'all are going to get taken to the cleaners on Ivan Toney, though, man. You know you're going to overpay for him.
You know we don't do that though, McCullough Mudryk.
Hey, we only
You
paid
know,
Hey,
we'll probably
hey,
end up taking Jamie Vardy or something on a free.
all that trash you want to. Mudryk only cost us $60 million because we tanked so bad this season. He's only worth 60.
So he's only a $60 million
Only
flop.
60. Hey, y'all
He's
know all
only a
about
$60 million
I don't
waste
want to
of
hear
money.
their $60 million flops. Y'all know all about that. Go ahead.
Well,
Hype him up.
Oh,
Hype him
also,
up.
so
Hype
the
him
double
up.
digit GA.
Hype him up. No, hype.
And
Yeah,
so
hype
you'd
up.
rather have Mud Dog than Havertz.
Yes,
Hell yeah.
every day of the week. Yes,
What?
yes. Thank you, God.
You're
yes.
crazy. He's got 7 goals.
He's got,
He's got
5
7 goals and 3
goals
assists.
last
He's got
year.
5 tap-ins against nobodies.
And what does Mud Dog have? What does Mud Dog have? I'll wait.
play goals that he's
I don't know about that one.
by himself?
What does Mud Dog have?
Jake put a survey out there. Would you take if you're Chelsea? Would you take Havertz
I
over
would
Mudryk?
take
And
Mudryk.
I'm taking Havertz.
No way. No
taking
way.
No way, dude.
You didn't watch y'all didn't have to suffer through him playing the way he played for us last season. Absolutely not. And Jake, you're only stat padding in games where you're already up 4-3-2, games in control, and Havertz gets a tap in. I don't want to hear it. That he scored 11.
And the equalizer versus Luton? The equalizer versus Luton?
Oh, I'm sorry. He was in front of 12,000
And
fans.
then we won the game? And then we won the game right afterwards? I'm just saying, you know.
And he won us the Champions League. And he won us the Champions League. I don't want to grow.
I'm just saying, man.
I would rather
Vitex would pick Havertz.
Yeah.
Chelsea fried his brain.
Absolutely crazy.
I mean, goodness
Absolutely
gracious.
I think Havertz too. What are you talking about?
Not a chance.
What's he gonna do?
Not
What's he
a
gonna do?
chance.
At least, all right. Put Havertz.
What's Mud Dog gonna do? What is Mud Dog gonna do?
Mud Dog actually presses in the system. Mud Dog actually presses in the system. What does Havertz do defensively other than knock the ball down and somewhat hold it? Then lose
Bro,
it.
Havertz's best work is off the ball. What are you talking about? I've been saying that all season, and that was making me mad that he wasn't doing the output, but now he's got the output.
In addition to that, there's been several times this season where Chelsea has been asked the question, who's going to score goals? I mean, Havertz at least would have scored
goals for us.
No, he wouldn't have.
Goals for us.
You didn't watch him last year. He would have never
This is
scored
not
goals
last
for
year.
us.
This is this year.
Sterling was our leading goal scorer. I don't want to hear it. Absolutely not. And Havertz was in the 88% of those games. I don't want to hear it. Absolutely not.
Horrible.
But
Absolutely
you're not
not.
playing the same system. How can you use last year and then change the system and the player? We can't use those as comparisons. We're using where he is this year.
He didn't even score that much under Tuchel when he was the focal point in the system.
He scored when he needed to.
He scored 1 when he needed to. Are you telling me Fernando Torres wasn't a flop at Chelsea?
He scored
Is that
when
what
he
you're
needed to.
tell me?
Score when he needed to. And that's what you've needed a lot of different. I need a guy to score when he needed to. And
Kai Havertz has more goals than all but 2 of your players. Only Palmer and Jackson have more goals than Kai Havertz.
Here's what I want you to take away. Take away the PKs your team gave him to make him feel like he was a part of your team. So take those away.
That's one goal. Take away all of Palmer's PKs and Havertz has more than Palmer.
Take away
that was once.
BS 5-3, 2 up already in the game. Game solidified. No chances. No need. Take those away as well.
Vitex has it right, man. Simple football really well. Knows where and when to be. Mud Dog is the definition of a terrible modern day footballer that had 1 good season, so Chelsea cashed in on him. He didn't even have 1 good season. He's got less than 50 professional appearances.
I'll agree with the Havertz for 3 freaking years.
And you watched Mud Dog for 3 freaking games, and you spent $60 million on him.
I'll agree with the Chelsea guys that Havertz was not good for them in his last
not
year.
good for us.
But
perhaps Arteta has unlocked him.
But I'm saying under a different manager, under a different style, he clearly has shown that he plays differently under different people. I mean, when even though he wasn't perfect under Tuchel, he did what he needed to do there. Again, I get not liking him. It's equal to the Sterling thing. So it is. Jesus Christ.
Sarah's not a fan of Havertz.
No, Sarah. Yeah, thank you. Havertz.
Yeah.
He never produced for us. He never produced for us. So I don't know how you're going to sit here and expect us to have a different opinion when he never
But we're talking
Nor
about
is Mud Dog. Nor is Mud Dog. I see. You're missing the part where Mud Dog hasn't done anything for you either.
Had 13 games under his belt starting. He has not had a chance to prove himself. Havertz had 3 years of being the focal point of our offense. 3 years. I would rather give someone else a chance. That's my point. That's what I'm saying. I would rather sack Sterling. I'd rather send Havertz off to give someone else a chance because they've already proven they can't do it for us. Ever.
I think,
And Pochettino does not give Mudryk any time of day.
No, he
if
doesn't.
Mudryk was to have every time he hits a goal, every time he hits an assist, he doesn't play the next game. Pochettino is the problem, not Mikhail Mudryk. Period. I'll stop there.
It is frustrating how it's really frustrating the way Mudryk is. Gets treated by him because he'll go and score a goal. He'll go and score a goal.
They're mad they didn't.
Go on, Patrick.
He'll go and score a goal, and then we won't see him for 5 matches.
That's all I'm saying. It's Pochettino. It's not.
Well, fair enough.
Sense because the left side, and I'm sorry we're in the Arsenal segment saying this, but I'll just finish this. The left side is the one side of the pitch that we don't get any pressure from on the press because we keep playing Raheem Sterling, and that's again where my insanity starts to kick in about Pochettino. Now we'll talk about Havertz and Arsenal and continue this later.
Here's the thing about Havertz right now is he's gotten better and better and better and better and better as the season has gone on, and B, like for the last 3 games running, there's been no reason to change anything. He's finally nailed down his place in the team, and against Brentford, there's no reason that Jesus or Trossard should replace him. He's playing well enough in this moment right now. He's scoring goals. He's getting assists. He was candidate for man of the match in the last 2 games. And you may say, yes, that's for Sheffield and Newcastle. But, you can only beat who's in front of you. He can only do what, he's been asked to do.
The game's been he only shows up for the little guys.
Well, I mean, it was the
big game. He's going to crumble.
He scored our 4th goal in the 21st minute. So it wasn't like, and he had the assist for the 3rd goal, Yes, Chelsea are a circus. I agree. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But I think for this game, I thought about maybe switching it up. Hey, Sarah, he might not currently be worth what Arsenal is paying him, but he still has time to come good. And he's
never will, but
you will see it. You will see it.
In Mikel Arteta, we trust. Because I have doubted Arteta's progression as a coach. I've doubted his progression as far as man management, and he's proven me wrong time and time and time again. And so, maybe I'm wrong. I think definitely that Havertz hasn't been good enough overall. I didn't think he was good enough when he's come in, but he's doing better and better and better and better. And I'm not one of these fans that just because I don't like the player, I'm going to hate when he scores and hate when he, you can go back and when we first signed him, a month into the season when I said I cannot wait to see Havertz getting a hat trick at the Etihad and winning the league. Of course, I want to see that. Of course. And so while I'm not his biggest fan, I'm happy that he is improving and doing better. But as far as this game goes, I thought about perhaps, maybe we should switch it up and put Rice in the 6 because to beat Brentford, you got to win second balls, right? Yeah, we're not huge fans of Sterling, but to beat Brentford, you have to win second balls, right? Chelsea didn't do that very well, and so they allowed Wissa to get the bike on him, and it was, had to save it in the end. Fox in the box. But I think that Arsenal are going to do far better than that. And I'm not convinced that Arteta is going to switch it up because he probably just expects us to have a lot of control like we have been. And, Brentford have not been playing well. They give a couple goals and fold like a lawn chair.
Yep.
And so if this game follows the same vein that our recent games have and we score early, it's over. It's just absolutely over. Y'all are killing me. I think it could be another big one. I think it's important. Obviously, it's important that we win, but if we win big again, 3-4 goals, and Man City and Liverpool draw, then we're up 10 goals ahead. Drew will be level with Pool, but we'll be in first on 10 goals if we win 4. 3 is 9. We're up 6 already. So could be a very big opportunity to really pad that goal difference because no Ben Mee, no Ethan Pinnock, no Mbomo. They got a couple of important midfielders out as well. It's a real chance to absolutely Patrick Vitex is going to get you a Pool shirt with your name on the back. But yeah, I think it's a real opportunity to really go into the Porto game off the back of more momentum. Go into the City game, 8 games, 1 in the league. Very important that we get the win. Very important to go top of the table. And I expect us to do it. I think we're definitely gonna nice one, Zara. I definitely think that we are gonna pick up the 3 points. I think that Big Willie Magalhaes is gonna have their hands full with Ivan Toney, of course, and Johan Wissa, but I think we're gonna be able to get it done. I'm very interested, like I say, to see if it's Rice in the 6 or if it's Jorginho in the 6, or could it be Thomas Partey? Because if it's Thomas Partey and he's fully fit and ready to go, the Partey, Odegaard, Rice midfield could be cooking and would absolutely Vitex, you're absolutely killing me, dude.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think Rice. If anything, it's Rice. So I don't know. I feel like Havertz plays better when Georgie's in the game.
I think Havertz plays better when he's in the forward role, no matter who is behind him.
He doesn't have to do as much.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't work him.
Right. I think he's just very comfortable in those spaces. But yeah, I think I would love to see Partey, Rice, Odegaard. But Jorginho's been playing so well, so I wouldn't mind that either.
So I'm saying I don't see them sitting Georgie with the outings he's had.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree with that.
I think one thing you have to take in consideration, I know you were pointing to the Chelsea game with, how Brentford, we had to come back to tie it. And, I know we talked about this when I had the segment on Monday, but y'all will be set up totally different. You won't be set up to where you leave your 6 totally isolated. And
right.
You won't have everybody running upfield while everybody's running right at him, kind of thing. So, I mean, you could play Georgie there. I think you'd have coverage with both Odegaard and Rice if necessary. So I don't think it's going to be any issue there. I do wonder, though, how well you play Tony if he gets isolated with either Gabriel or Saliba. When y'all are able to kind of combine, he becomes totally useless. And for the most part, for the Chelsea game, at least in the first half, he was pretty useless.
Well, he's not really a one-on-one guy, is he, though? He's not really like a take-you-on kind of speed merchant.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about winning balls in the air.
Yeah.
Like, I think that if
it'll be a battle.
Crowd him, he's not going to be able to have the impact that he could have. But that's also where Wisa comes in. Can he pull a defender to run off of him to potentially get 1v1s? Wasn't Raya at Brentford, or am I thinking wrong?
You are. Ramsdale will be playing.
Oh, Ramsdale. Okay.
It's a loan. The Raya deal is a loan deal with an option to buy at the end of the season for $3 million, and then the it's like 31 or something if we're gonna buy him. But yeah, he can't play. So it's Ramsdale.
So do you think that is something to be concerned about? Because Ramsdale hasn't played much, has he?
Not even a little bit concerned.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Okay.
Yeah. Not even a little bit concerned. I think the only, Raya's really only improvement on Ramsdale is his abilities in the air, commanding the box and crosses and corners and the like. I think they're comparable shot stoppers. I also think Raya's distribution is a bit better, but not so much better that I still feel Ramsdale got a hard deal. I don't think Raya is so much better, So I'm not worried about Ramsdale at all. I think he made, a number of fantastic saves, not least of all in the Liverpool game last season, VTEX, if you recall, at Anfield. The breakaway with Ollie Watkins in the Villa game right before we scored in the 90th minute to win that one. He had a fantastic save. So yeah, I think a little bit hard done by, but that's just the nature of the game.
Yeah.
And so, no, I'm not worried about Ramsdale being in goal at all. I think he'll do just fine. I also think that even if Tomiyasu and Zinchenko are healthy, Kivior should not be dropped. He's playing the best I've seen him play. He's even doing overlapping down the side sometimes, So I think we're a well-oiled machine. And if we don't change anything at all, I'm perfectly fine with that. And then, of course, we'll have Ramsdale. But yeah, I think it's going to be just fine because I respect Ivan Toney. And the reason I was bringing up possibly switching Rice back to the 6 was because I respect Brentford's counterattacks. Wissa was very dynamic when he came in 2 games ago versus Liverpool, and then he gave y'all fits and starts. Of course, also got the bike, beautiful goal. So with respect to that, that's why I was thinking maybe. But I think we're going to control the game. I think we're going to mop up the second balls. I think it's going to be a nice, easy 3-0 win for the Arsenal. And I'm excited.
I'm going to go with 3-1 Arsenal.
Tony with a goal, eh?
Yeah, either him or Wissa. I maybe Wissa. I really am interested to see if you try to defend Tony, especially on kickoffs, 1v1, or if he does get crowded, so to speak.
VTEX wants you to make your background Anfield instead.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I think that's going to be Brentford's biggest, opportunity to hurt us is if Tony can get an advantage over. He'll probably drift to Gabriel. I think Saliba will be a bit stronger in the air, or at least to Tony's, opinion. What you saying, Lewis?
I'm just looking at the stats here, man. Like I think Arsenal just can completely control this game. And I initially was going to get, and then I said the Tony thing you said. I said, I think Tony will get a goal. But then I'm looking at just sort of the history, right? I mean, when he's played, he doesn't score, but they do score. I don't see it, man. I don't see them scoring. I'm going 4-0. I don't really see him doing anything against Arsenal.
Yeah, I agree. They've been, just based on the eye test and form and what Brentford have been recently, it's been
like
pretty
the
awful.
Tony mystique is last year,
Yeah,
it's last year. It's not this year.
I heard somebody make a good point about it. I think it might have been on Talk Sport. Maybe I listen to so much content; it's kind of runs together sometimes. But he seemed to have been. This is what they were saying. He seemed to have been kind of, this first couple of games back was on adrenaline. He was.
He's settled.
And so now it's kind of even and out, and he's getting back to match fitness, and that's why he hasn't, maybe been as at it in the last couple of games. But I think he's going to be right at it. But I still think we'll have enough. What you saying, X?
It's BT Sport. In the comment, it's not Sky Sports.
It's not
BT
Sky.
And I always use stats because last year I was almost in like last. So I've changed my method to actually using outside of my brain.
The stats, yeah. Miss Kate Jackson, I'll tell you how we all feel about Man U. Boo!
Have you heard the Tottenham, the Arsenal chant for Tottenham? That's how we feel about Man U.
Yeah.
I don't have an opinion about them at all.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't. What you saying about this one, X?
I'll go 3-1.
3-1.
To the bees!
To the bees!
No. You make some crazy predictions over the season here, but I don't think
the last
that.
few years I've made some crazy predictions.
I don't think you're going that crazy with your predictions. Yeah.
No, Kate, you're good. You're good. You don't need to click off.
No Man U fans here.
Anyone here that hates Man United more than me, I'd be shocked. They can burn. They can do unspeakable things. If there's one club I could wish to get relegated immediately, it'd be them. Yeah, if I could stop their bus from going to the next game, I would.
Yeah, fair enough.
United can crash and burn. I hate that we're in a worse spot than them because it leaves me feeling like I can't talk as much smack as I would like to.
Of course you can.
You're in the same spot. Y'all are both floating down the dumpster fire stream.
Although they are worse, in my opinion, because they didn't absolutely just hit the reset button on,
They might be about to.
A $6 billion club that they forced the owner out of and had to buy them out with a $6 billion charity.
With all this new people coming in, they might be about to hit that button.
I mean,
but VTEX, I do want to address this thing you don't like about the States. Sky Sports here, CBS and USA Today over there. You don't get the same commentary. Your honest commentary so good. Huge miss out. Well, Nez watches in Spanish, so there's that. That makes that commentary different. But I watch on NBC, which has I don't know if it's a lot of the same guys, but Peter Drury, John Champion, Andy Townsend. Like we get some of the at least I thought they were the more famous of the British commentators,
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, if I could live anywhere else in the world.
Get over there. Yeah, we'll definitely get over there at some point. But yeah, I think there are some commentators for NBC though, VTEX, that are absolutely ridiculous. Graham Lasso is just an absolute idiot.
Looney Tune. He's a Looney Tune.
He's just out there. Yeah. Some of the ones we hear I have no use for. And I will say this, the analysts at halftime that don't need to be named.
Like Timmy Howard.
I mute it. I don't watch halftime anymore. It's just on mute. It's just ridiculous.
But I will say,
the Spanish. I might need to go watch it in Spanish because that might be better.
The World Cup in Spanish, it was a lot better. I will tell you that.
I will say for Champions League, we have a fantastic desk though. I think they're great. I love them.
They're awesome. Yeah,
they're entertaining. They don't.
Jamie, Terry, and
Micah.
Yeah, dude, I think they're funny.
No, they might be kind of funny, but their takes and their actual analysis. Like I love TT Henry, of course, the king. He's my man, but
you saw that goofy take he had.
He says some crazy things sometimes. some real and Jamie Carragher's a Looney Tune, of course. Just worried about celebrating. Here, let me get a nice picture for you, Jamie. And Micah Richards is just there for vibes.
He is.
Oh yeah,
I'm feeling the vibes, man.
And is it
Kate Abdo? She'd be alright if she wasn't a Man U fan,
right?
Yeah, this is true.
She can have all.
Yeah, that took her from being a 10 to a 1 in my book. Immediately.
Oh wow!
Just immediately. Wow. If she's a 10 and a United fan, she's a 1.
That was rough, but of course, we've come to VTEX's favorite segment, and of course the game of the weekend.
My wife's about to kill me.
Excuse you?
Hey man,
you're not a United fan. You don't have to worry about it.
I am today.
Oh my god.
Oh wow. Do you need to go sort that out, X?
No, you're not.
Oh my goodness.
I don't even know.
Oh,
man.
Newcastle
Dude.
going to Stamford Bridge.
Dude. On Monday Night Football.
They already lost
Monday Night
once
Football.
this year. They're gonna
Game
lose again.
of the week. The game everyone's looking forward to. Everyone's excited about.
This
It is the game of the week.
What are we saying, guys?
Well, first off, I want to remind everybody that the last time Newcastle came to the bridge, they lost. So, yeah, just keep that in mind.
5-3, yeah.
Yeah, keep that in mind. We won't talk about the trip to Newcastle because that doesn't matter in this moment.
4-1, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Stats.
Hey, man.
Not a chance.
BT's
Not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Yeah, you see, VTEX, that's crossing a line. You're not allowed to sing anything positive about Spurs on this channel.
No, ever. They're worse than United.
I mean, VTech was talking trash about Spurs, their U13 smoking them. So, I mean, come on now.
Listen, this game, honestly, and this is where I'm at with it, and it breaks my heart, but I'm here. I was in the same spot as Potter, or when we had Potter. I would rather lose this game by 4 and get this clown out of my club faster or sooner than later than let him be in the FA and go all the way down and not be able to compete deeper into tournaments because you choke as a manager and don't know how to in-game manage. I don't know, 10 minutes left. I don't know. Play the PKs and don't sub the correct defender in. I don't know.
Does it feel like they're gonna let him go anyway at the end of the season?
Yes.
Over the summer.
Yes.
He will be like on the summer.
Ooh, Chelsea to lose 6-0.
No,
VTEX
that's not
predicts.
That's not going to happen. We're at the bridge. Are you kidding me? If
Good
anything,
one,
it's
VTEX.
2-2. If anything, it's going to be 2-2.
Good one.
No. We're going to lose still at the bridge.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Newcastle they've
We're not going to lose 6-0 at the bridge.
you never know what you're gonna get with Newcastle. You never know, man. Guimaraes,
This game, look,
Gordon,
my prediction's 2-1 to the Blues.
2-1 to Newcastle. All right.
No, absolutely not. That's off tune. But I truly feel in my heart of hearts this could not be. I feel like we could both take a point out of this, and I wouldn't be surprised. One bit.
I mean, you don't even know what you're going to see from Chelsea either. Like, is it going to be 5 at the back?
Well, Chili's gone, so Cucurella is now slotted.
Oh, that's
in.
right. Colwell's not going to play either.
Colwell's gone 'cause he
Cole
hurt
might play. I figure he
Cole
play.
stubbed his toe, and he's like, "Oh,
That he stubbed his toe and he was out. I thought I saw
He
that
didn't say he
Potch
was
said
out.
he was out.
It didn't say he was out. It said that the Chilwell was out, the Gallagher's been sick, and then it came out later today that Colwell did
I
something
thought
with his
Potch confirmed all of that, though.
Yeah, Colwell took a page out of Tuchel's book and kicked the door on the way out of the training ground. Absolutely broke his foot. He's done. Gallagher caught whatever the hell's next, so he's sick. Yeah, and let's see. Disasi's the only healthy person we can depend on.
And
so let's
Kunku's
go
out.
And
Kunku's
Kunku's
out,
out.
yeah.
Cucurella's slotted in. We already know because he was back at training. He's the only left back we got, so you have to play, bud.
I think he's right. Thiago might be back in.
Thiago-
VTech says the loudest fans will be the Geordie boys. You'll have Mud Dog and Sterling dancing with each other on the wings. Thiago's kissing boots. Chelsea
play on the
lose
same
6-0.
How dare you disrespect Thiago Silva? I'm done. That man's a legend. And even still out.
He'll have to come in, won't he?
Yes, absolutely.
Thiago's going to have to come in and play because if Colwell's out,
Has to.
no, it'll be Chalobah. What about Chalobah?
Trevor is healthy. Trevor's healthy.
Well, if you play 5 at the back, it'll be the Fox, Chalobah, and Silva, right?
With Gusto. Yep.
Then Gusto and Cuckoo. Is Cuckoo going to make a return?
Cuckoo probably makes a return.
Yeah. Who's gonna play? Who's gonna play? No, he's back. He's back at training.
He's back in training.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been training.
Yep.
Gilfie
Alfie.
or Alfie Gilchrist. Yeah, it might be Alfie.
I could see Alfie.
But would Gusto then play left?
No,
you-
they'll play Goose
no.
on the right.
God,
What
no.
about Matt? Oh, you sold Matson.
We didn't sell him. He's
We
on
loaned him.
alone.
Loaned him.
Which
He
is
ain't there regardless.
Loaned
it
him.
continues to be
When
a
in doubt,
sore spot for
Chelsea
me.
loans a player.
You know what they could do to get Mud Dog and Sterling dancing together? Mudrick could play left winger. He could play the left wing back position, because Chile never came back anyway. Chile didn't really mark up on the back post anyway.
Sterling can't play left
Just
back.
saying. He's a forfeit tank when playing under anyone other than Poch. Under Poch, might as well give him his dummy and stick him in his blanket. Yeah, okay. Is this Mud Dog we're talking about here? Or are we talking about Sterling? Or both?
Sterling.
Or either?
Probably.
Yeah. But, it's going to be interesting. It'll probably be, Connor and Enzo, of course. Or not Connor, but Caicedo and Enzo, of course. Because they never get dropped.
Palmer, Jackson, Sterling.
It might have to be Sterling and Mud Dog with Jackson up top and Palmer in the 10.
Yeah, Madueke will be back.
The way you try Madueke, bro.
Madueke's back.
Useless.
I agree.
He's useless, dude.
I agree.
I don't know what happened. Maybe that last injury kind of was worse than he thought or whatever, but he's been terrible.
Wait a minute.
Since coming back.
So there's a story, and I don't know what this is, but have you ever heard of the?
Here you go, VTEX. Thiago Silva has just as many Champions Leagues as your boy Virgil van Dijk, so I don't want to freaking hear it anymore. So you're done. You're done. You're done. And Thiago's been in the league for 3 seasons.
What's that, Lewis?
The independent voice of Newcastle. It's the independent voice of Newcastle since 1988. Apparently, Chelsea's official statement is they're still struggling to sell out for the Newcastle match. Is Newcastle throwing shade at Chelsea? Because it feels like
I would do the same thing. If I was a Chelsea fan in London, I would be the first one outside of the bridge saying, no one's going in there because this is outrageous and this is unacceptable. This is not the DNA of this club. We need to
release the tickets.
We need
Newcastle will fill it. Newcastle fans will fill it. Release the tickets.
Let them. These owners are clowns. They need to wake up.
So the story says with only 4 days to go before the game, Chelsea have admitted they are struggling to sell their sub 40,000 seater stadium out for the game. That was some shade in there.
That was some serious shit.
Yeah.
With the number of tickets left to sell, Chelsea have announced that the tickets will now go on general sale.
Yeah. No, our season's done. There's nothing left in the league. You will not see us pack the bridge out for a league game the rest of the season.
But
just pack it with Newcastle fans. The Newcastle fans will pack it out.
Honestly, if I was Chelsea, I wouldn't. I would honestly leave it empty because then you can collect the losses and help our FFP.
Put banners on the empty seats.
Our FFP, yes, absolutely.
X, he says if you said you didn't put a bin.
No, I would. Do you know how many Chelsea fans want Posh out? Do you know how many Chelsea?
Wait, VTEX, he's seen Green Street Hooligans. He can handle himself.
I know. No, I'd be up in the stands chanting Jose Mourinho and Roman Abramovich left and right, just like half of our fans that go to the games anyway. We were singing.
I'm gonna be honest. These tickets that are for sale are really freaking expensive.
Yeah.
Like £430.
No excuse to go to a Chelsea league game this season after those boys don't want to fight for our shirt. Absolutely not. That manager doesn't know how to manage our shirt. The owners don't know what they bought when they bought this squad. They don't know what they bought.
Brighton. That's what I think.
Bought Brighton.
Should have bought Brighton.
Brighton.
Because if you want to play mid-table and spend money and play Football Manager on your phone, buy Brighton. This isn't the club to do it at, bro.
Well, they bought 11 of Brighton's staff, so they're on their way to do it.
And half their players.
So, do we have any hope? Any hope at all?
It's 2-1. I'm not always going to back the boys. But no, we're not.
I've gone with your Say it with me, guys. No. They don't want to say it. They don't want to say it. VTEX, they don't want to say it.
I'm not wearing a jersey until we make the FA Cup final. I'm not going to do it.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. Yeah, I kind of see this one being tough, real tough for the Blues. But Newcastle have not been great. They're a bit of an enigma. We smashed them away from home. They didn't really do much at all. So this could be kind of a. But I've gone for a back and forth 2-2. Mistake riddled, lots of chances, open, fast paced 2-2. What you think, Lewis? Got a score?
So I'm looking here, right? So if we look at Newcastle's form, as you said, is the goofiest form ever, right? 2-3, they won, right? 2-2, 4-1, that's you guys. 4-5, 3-0. I don't
4-5.
The Blackburn.
That's Blackburn in penalties, though. That's the penalty score.
Either way, I mean, the point being, they're so inconsistent because they shouldn't even been that close against Blackburn. Shouldn't even been there. That's the point.
Yeah, they didn't play great against Blackburn. Was better in that game. I watched that one actually. Blackburn were the better team.
Yeah, that was a blitzkrieg by Blackburn.
So my point is, it says Chelsea hasn't kept a clean sheet in 8 matches. So I absolutely think Newcastle's going to score.
Back post runs. That's all you need, boys. I'll tell you right now, Newcastle. You want to beat us? Set piece, back post runs. You win the game. You want to beat Pochettino? Set piece, back post runs. You win the game. Period. You want to beat Chelsea? Set piece, back post run. Win the game.
So I think Chelsea scores 2 goals in this game, but I think Newcastle score 4. So I think it's 4-2.
4.
Yeah,
4-2.
I will find you.
Oh my
I
goodness.
think it's 4-2. 4-2.
4.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah. I can see it.
Who?
They score.
No.
It's gonna be Joe Willock. It's gonna be Gordon, Anthony Gordon.
Bring Potter.
Yes, hashtag bring Potter back.
And
That's
just so you know,
definitely-
based on also I'm a statistics guy. The last
I mean, now it's better than Pochettino, so why not?
4-1, 4-2.
4-2.
Yeah, they were 4-1 because we had 2 gaffes in the back.
And
I don't doubt that's going to happen.
You're not gonna have more.
That's going to happen.
So you're not going
Do
to
you not remember the first goal that
Petrovic
Stola
is
gave up?
way better. Way better.
And Petrovic is a million times better than Sanchez.
Sir,
Way better.
I agree with that.
I'm looking at you. I think you score. I think you scored 2 goals. I think.
Yo, Silva will choke somebody if we lose, if we give up 4 goals.
Well, I hope he has his gloves on so he doesn't.
Oh, he's ready to do that. I can see it. I can see it, man.
Choke one of our players. It won't even be. It'll be a red card for choking your own player, which we now know can happen.
Status.
Which we now know can happen.
Oh goodness. What you saying, Patrick?
4 goals, man. That is
4-2.
Patrick, here you go, bud. This is your chance to solidify the Cup Chasers table right here. If he's going to call a 4-1, punish him. Punish my man.
Call it 4-2.
He called 4-2. He gave you 2 goals.
I think I read, and I say this because I saw it with fantasy team because I dropped him today. Trippier probably doesn't play. He's got an injury. There was like a 75% chance he wouldn't play. So I dropped him today. I did pick up Gabrielle, by the way. So
Smart.
good luck with that because everybody I pick up in fantasy just falls off like a rock.
Well, go pick up Mo Salah then.
Except for Saka. Saka's been amazing.
No, go pick up Mo Salah. If we had to sign one player from Chelsea to be in the first team, no one at Chelsea starts
You
either of
stop
us.
that right now, injured or non-injured.
No one at Chelsea starts for either of
You're
our
telling me
teams.
you wouldn't start Reece James?
No.
A healthy Reece James?
Caicedo would start over
Are
Jorginho.
you kidding me?
Caicedo would not start over Declan Rice.
A healthy Reece James.
You know,
Wouldn't-
Caicedo was better than Rice last year, right?
No, he wasn't. Did Caicedo lift a European trophy?
Oh, whoa.
Dude. Caicedo is not better than Rice. He wasn't better than Rice last season either.
Well, I'll ask the question simply: Is it
Injured
you
or
said?
non-injured?
Is it an active player or an injured one? Because I mean, but this is my own thing about Kyle Walker. I would take Reece James over Kyle Walker. I think Reece is good. If he's healthy, I take Reece. I think he's good. He fits the sort of the youth of the team.
Bro, that's disrespect if you're not taking Reece James.
I take Reece. That's it.
Disrespect.
There's no one else.
A
Like no
healthy
one.
Reece
Not even
James.
Gusto.
A healthy
There's
Reece
no
James.
one else.
Gusto
It's
doesn't get
by
close.
Bro,
Who's Gusto playing over his team?
Gusto ain't playing over anyone.
No one. I take Reece James.
no, I take Reece James.
I'll give you Reece James.
That's it. No one else.
I'll give you Reece James.
So when Gusto plays over a healthy Reece James, that means
That Pochettino's an idiot.
that Pochettino's an
I mean,
idiot.
we already knew
Yeah, I
that.
disagree completely.
Or that Reece James is never going to be healthy.
There's no way. I would not take Gusto over Ben White. Not in a million years.
He
Or-
makes Gusto makes
And my options are Kyle Walker and Akanji. No.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
no.
No.
Nope. Absolutely not.
No.
Other than that, honestly,
Oh,
other than that,
For one game, yes. For like a one-off. For a 38-game season, not in a million years would I take Reece James for anything.
no, absolutely not, because he's not going to be healthy.
Because he's not going to be healthy. But
No,
for
he's
12
not
of
gonna
them,
be healthy.
he might be healthy for 12
Champions
of them.
League final, full strength Reece James, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll take him.
Yeah.
What about this game, Patrick?
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, okay. So
I'm so rattled.
you did. You got me really rattled.
For
So
you.
no, you keep rattling me, man.
This is getting rattled with that 4 goals. You just can't believe it.
4 goals is just. I mean,
Newcastle going to hit 4.
I will come on and give you all your flowers if we give up 4 goals.
Wait a minute. I know I didn't. Go ahead, Patrick, because this comment in the chat got me. What? There's no way. No way.
Whoa! That is
No
a crazy.
way.
That is a crazy
It's
comment.
the players, not the manager.
Go ahead, Patrick. Give your prediction first, and then we'll get to this.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You want to address this first?
Golly, y'all are really just throwing me off tonight.
My man couldn't win with Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar. It's not the players, man. I'm done. It's okay.
Well, you know, I've already gone in on poach, so I don't, and I'm calling them poach like eggs. But yes,
I think Vtex is just pushing your buttons on that
Oh
one.
yeah, he knows. Yeah. As they
Anyways.
rightfully can.
I think
And what cup?
one, we're going back to the bridge. We always play better at the bridge. Just trying to think off the top of my head if we've played poorly recently at the bridge. I don't think so. I think we've actually played really well at the bridge here recently. So I think this is one that we can look at and say, hey, we can actually get this one. I think that unless somebody picks up another injury between now and Monday, which is always likely with this team, I think that the only change you'll really see is Gallagher. I think he comes on as a sub because I think that he really probably hasn't practiced this much this week because he has been sick. So I'm interested to see where things change there. I guess you'll put Palmer.
Well, it'll look like what you did 2 games ago where Mud Dog was the 10, right?
You could do that.
I feel like he might go with that kind of a formation.
But see, then, yeah, I mean, unless he's so hell-bent on getting Sterling out there, which I guess, yeah, you
Sterling's
can
going
still
to have to play regardless.
Yeah, you can play my dog in
Sterling
center.
starts.
Unless Medweke. No, I think Palmer will be in the middle.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I thought Palmer would be in the middle.
And it'll be Mud Dog, Jackson, Sterling, and Palmer.
Yeah, I don't think he plays both Sterling and Mudryk.
I'd have been done.
So Medweke starts. Medweke's been awful.
He'll start Madueke on the right, so he doesn't. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you.
Stinky.
That's Potterchino.
Stinky.
That's Potterchino for you. He
I can
doesn't like
smell.
Mudryk.
I can smell that already. Whew.
Yep.
He does not like Mudryk. It is plain as day. I feel bad for the guy because he goes and he performs, and the fans are like, "Hey, come on, play him some more," and then we don't see him for 10
And we don't
games.
see him for 10 games.
And it's not because he's injured.
Nope. I think Pochettino does have a problem with the way Mudryk. And it's not even work rate. Like Mudryk has the work rate. And that's the whole thing about Potter's wow. See, you even got me doing it. That's the only thing about
Freudian slip.
Oh man. That's the thing about Pochettino's system. He wants players that work back, but then that's what baffles me about the Sterling selection every week, week in and week out, because you can't count on him
working.
in the press. You can't count on him in this high press, which makes Connor then Connor has to run a minimum of 7 to 8 miles per game to cover the ground.
Because he's pressing for two positions.
So it's like it baffles me that he wouldn't just shift it to let Mudryk play the left. If Sterling has to play this 9, and if Nkunku's not going to be healthy, then shift someone outright where you don't need him in the press. You know he's not going to press. You're beating a dead horse. And he has not changed it ever since the beginning of the season. And it baffles me. It absolutely baffles me week in and week out when we see the lineup from midfield forward. Baffles me.
Well, it's going to be something different. That's the only consistency. That's the only consistency there's been, is that he changes it every week.
Right.
Did you ever give a score, Patrick? What was your score?
Oh, I was about to.
Yeah.
But I think that I think Newcastle scores just because we'll have a gaff at some point, or we won't cover someone on the back post. One of the two. Maybe both. Who knows? But I do think it's at the bridge. I think we keep it close, and I think we score late. I'm going to give it to my man, the Fox in the Box, to make it 2-1 Chelsea.
There it is, baby.
Your most healthy player, Axel Disaster, somehow catches the. See, that's just right there, case in point of the state of the club. Axel Disaster is also known as the Fox in the Box.
You love it.
I love it. Yeah. Well, see,
he's gonna go crowd surfing again, and it's gonna be beautiful.
You're right. I absolutely love Pochettino. I love Raheem Sterling. Long may all of this continue. Of course, I love seeing all of this.
It may continue in a different form, but it's not going to continue.
Yeah, no, it's not going to continue like this. And laugh it up. After Klopp leaves, laugh it up. When Klopp leaves, you're going to be in the same hole.
Oh, I know you're not talking to me. You're talking to Vtex.
I'm talking to Vtex. Laugh it up. Klopp leaves, Van Dijk leaves, your Salah leaves.
When Klopp leaves and then Pep leaves, who's left, baby?
Arteta's gonna be sacked by then. So it's
yeah, but there are some other games this week. Some lovely looking fixtures. I think the next one to go to is Villa hosting Tottenham Hotspur. This is the fourth place game. We can answer this right quick. Lewis, what would you change about Chelsea? And you can't say get rid of all the delusional fans.
Well, I mean, City fans are just either rejected or former Chelsea fans anyways, right? That's the story, right?
The Oil Brothers. It's the Oil Brothers.
Right. So it's first of all, I mean, I've heard the guys complain about it, but it's funny. Most of the people I know are Chelsea fans, which is strange, the football fans I know. If the team kept the same ownership, then I would bring in Ted Lasso. So that's the first thing I would do. I would bring in Ted Lasso as a consultant, and then I would hire, because I would get a new manager, and then I would hire. You're not going to be ready for this, but I would hire De Zerbi, and this is the reason I'm going to hire De Zerbi with Ted Lasso as my consultant, right? Because De Zerbi doesn't speak English really well, right? He speaks it, but it's like whatever. And Lasso would be his translator, because we're still waiting for X to be the Pochettino translator. We're waiting for that.
We need it.
So with that being the answer, I think your back line is solid, right? And then I would tell De Zerbi, you can't change, unless they're injured, you can't change your back line for 3 games. You have to let them play 3 consecutive games, and then you have to go from there. And then I would sell either Enzo or Caicedo. I'd sell one of them. I'm not sure which one, but I would sell one. And then I would immediately go buy 2 strikers, not 1, but 2, because Chelsea gets hurt all the time. And then I would bring beautiful Eva back so I can look at her. And and then I would buy the kid from is it Verts? Is he at Leverkusen?
Yeah, Verts. He's at Leverkusen.
Florian Wirtz. Yeah.
Yeah, Bert.
I'll buy him, and then I would leave the rest of the team as it is. Because the rest of the team is not bad. And that's why I'd buy 3 players, and then I would bring in Ted Lasso and Deserby.
I think I like VTEX's changes a bit better.
No.
Ted Lasso, they get Wayne Rooney up front. We're going to replace the wingers with my Gran, and then we're going to turn the stadium into a bounce castle. Yeah, like that. That sounds good. But
Sounds
speaking
like plan.
speaking of bounce castle stadiums, the Tottenham Hotspur are visiting Villa, and
Birmingham.
this is going to be a real interesting one. Battle for 4th place. Pretty much, if Villa win, it opens up I think it's an 8-point gap between 4th and 5th, and they'll be looking pretty comfy in the in 4th place there.
But real quick, Jake, if the Spurs win, they'd be at 53 and have a game in hand. Huge.
And they would be prime position.
Huge.
That's why this game is massive. Absolutely massive. And the schedule is really flipping weird because of USA's daylight savings. Look, VTEX, you can look. There's some things you can say on this channel, and we're cool with it. But wanting Tottenham to win is not one of them.
That's not one of them. Not one of them.
Saying that you desire Tottenham to win is going to rub salt on all of us. Just so you know. But yeah, I think this is going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be back and forth basketball style league. Going to be ping pong, as X likes to say. But you know me, I've gone for a 3-2 Villa win.
Yeah, I'm not betting against the villains.
What's your score?
2-1.
2-1. All right.
I think they just have too much on that counter, man.
Yeah.
Villa's won the last 3 against them, man.
Yeah,
and
they're not going to lose.
Spurs haven't kept a clean sheet in 7 matches, but Sonny is there. And if now we're talking about players, if you gave me a chance to take somebody from Spurs, I'm taking Sonny. Like right away, I'm taking Sonny. But I'm gonna go with strangely enough, I'm gonna go with a 2-1 Spurs win.
I can see it.
Patrick, VTEX doesn't like you, man.
He went in on me the other night.
Yeah, he's coming for him again.
This man just.
Well, dump on him. Dump on Tottenham right now for me. What do you think?
Yeah. What do you think?
22-0.
It's going to be a great.
22-0. No.
It's going to be a fun game to watch.
I think it will be
a nice appetizer for the big one.
It really will be. I think that what time is this one at? 9 o'clock? Oh, that's not bad.
It's this, like I say, the schedule is weird because of daylight savings. So this one starts at 9, and then 2 other games start at 10, and then City Pool is at 11:30. It's dumb. On Sunday, yeah, it's dumb because of daylight savings, because we're jumping forward or whatever.
Spring forward. Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry, I just don't like daylight savings. So anyways, okay. So Villa did not score today, if I remember correctly. Someone got a red card
in Ajax.
Against Ajax.
They both got red cards. Both teams got red cards.
Yeah, they did. Something was off with him. I don't know what it was today. It was really weird. I was watching. I was flipping through them, and I also would go to the Galazzo show where they show goals, but they show certain games, periods of times and whatnot. And I didn't like what I saw from them, and it made me think that maybe they were looking a little bit ahead to the weekend, especially knowing that Ajax had to come back to Villa Park. So they just kind of wrote it out. With that said, I do think that they will score. I've gone back and forth because my heart wants to pick a Villa win, but I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. That's why you're leading the predictions table right there, sir. That you don't pick with your heart like X and I. And that's why you're so far ahead. But yeah. All right.
Oh, Corona? No. I got a bad experience with Corona, man.
Yeah.
First of all, it's Modelo. Modelo.
Yeah. Well, speaking of bad experiences, Everton visiting Old Trafford and the greatest team that's ever breathed the air or stepped on a football pitch, Manchester United.
Let's go, Simon Hooper. Let's go.
Yeah, this one could be interesting. I don't really rate Everton. I don't really rate United this season either. But I think United will get this over the line. I've said 2-1. Hey, I like dark beers, VTEX. I like a Guinness. I know you got Guinness.
I'll go 1-0 here for United. I don't want to. But Everton are bad. Everton are so
I don't
bad.
think Everton score unless it's a PK.
I don't think Everton I don't think Everton scores here.
You think it 2-0, Patrick?
I think 2-0, even though I think United struggles to score. There's a pattern that is starting to develop with them without Højlund playing.
That puts their goal difference at
they're at -2 right now.
They're at -2 right now.
Neutral, yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Cider is good, VTEX, absolutely.
I like my wheat beers.
Hey, is Hooch still in England? Hooch was one of my favorites ever. I wrote them and requested it. Like I sent them an email. I was like, hey, send Hooch to America.
Send Hooch to America. Nice. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Dude, it's Hooch. I had to Google it to find it. We were looking for random things.
Well, what's your Man U score, Lewis?
I think Man U wins 2-0.
2-0. You did say 2-0 as well, Patrick, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Good old Ten Hag.
Hang
long may he reign. We do have the bottom of the table 6 point. Okay, it's not you can't really hype up Bournemouth for Sheffield. Sheffield are an embarrassment to the league, and I think Bournemouth are going to smack them 3-0 at home.
Bournemouth has a chance to move past Chelsea this week.
Oh, that is. You don't say things like that. You don't announce that.
No. They will move past us and Fulham this week.
Bournemouth's on 31 points. Chelsea's on 36.
Fulham are at Wolves, yeah. So it's an interesting.
But Bournemouth have Sheffield and Luton this week.
VTEX agrees with you, Lewis.
See, Hooch, man, greatest thing ever, freaking Hooch.
I don't even know what it is, but they got pink Hooch, the raspberry. He says blue Hooch is the blue raspberry. Yeah, nice, yeah.
Sounds good.
It was in the States for like 3 days, and then they stopped selling it.
They stopped doing it. Yeah. Well, what are we thinking about Bournemouth Sheffield?
They're both going to
do what?
They're both going to lose.
Both going to lose. No, I mean, Bournemouth is clearly a better side than Sheffield. I don't think there's any question about that. I was
the four of us could go beat Sheffield.
Yeah, we could. We really could. Even though I'm really fat. Just stick me in goal. I'll say
doesn't matter. We can win. We got this.
Just stick me in goal. But I think that I think Bournemouth wins going away. I'm going to go 3-1 just because Sheffield sometimes surprises you with some out of this nowhere goal. So.
What'd you think of X?
Ooh, Mike sucks. Oh,
this.
Hopefully, Hooch is better than Mike's.
It is
nice.
It's better.
This might be my 0-0.
X is 0-0, eh?
You know the funny thing is, I didn't want to say it.
X, Sheffield are bad, bro. Sheffield are terrible.
Bournemouth can score.
Sheffield are atrocious, and they're already down, but they're already on the beach. With 11 games to go, they're already in the championship. And you think it's going to be 0-0 at Bournemouth?
Championship. Do you see who's in line to come up?
Same that went down. Yeah.
The 3 that went down.
We're going to have to hate on Leicester all season again.
Yeah.
God, I hate Leicester.
You saw that the same three that went down.
Southampton's coming back up.
Yeah, we agree, VTEX. Your beer league team where the guy is falling all over themselves because they got drunk before the game could beat Sheffield.
I'm gonna go 0-0.
He's going 0-0 because he's crazy.
It's crazy.
Going 0-0, man. Bro.
No,
Watch
let him.
Well,
Let's move on. Let's let him do that. That's a good pick, X. Way to be, kid. Go ahead, Lewis.
No, I'm looking here, right? It says that
Just say it, man.
So Sheffield haven't scored in their last 3 matches
That's a 0.
and haven't kept the clean sheet in 8 matches.
X, they've given up 16 goals in 3 games.
And
They've given
then
up 72
Bournemouth-
goals on the season.
But Bournemouth.
haven't scored in 2 home games. They haven't scored in 2 home games. I agree with X, but I think Sheffield is that bad. I go 1-0 Bournemouth.
Yep.
1-0. I want to go 0-0, but
Absolutely.
Sheffield is terrible.
Yes, they are absolute trash. Brighton Forest is an interesting one, just because Brighton got absolutely pammed today by Roma.
Horrible.
Absolutely smacked up in Rome.
Horrible.
So they'll be licking their wounds. This is at the Amex, but I think it suits Forest. So I think it'll be tough. I think it'll be really tough, but I do think Brighton will bounce back. I've gone 2-1 Brighton.
1-0.
To Brighton?
Yeah. Yeah. This will be a bit of ping pong too, though.
Yeah, it should be an interesting game. Forest's definitely going to be pressing and getting their counters. What was saying, Patrick?
I don't know. Forest has got to feel a little hard done after last weekend. They've had to stew on that for the whole week. I think they come out blazing. I think they get up a goal. But I think Brighton puts 3 past them. So 3-1 Brighton.
What did I just do? 3-1 Brighton, absolutely. Lewis?
So Newcastle, not Forest have lost their last 3 matches. Brighton have lost their last 3 matches. Forest haven't scored in their last 2 matches. Brighton haven't scored in their last 3 matches. I'm going 1-1.
1-1, there it is. I thought he was going to say the nil-niller. It's going to be his nil-niller.
Nah.
Okay, one that I think... Okay, let's see what we got here.
Oh, we were all on Villa before Christmas for sure.
Yeah, man. At home, they were ridiculous at home.
We were singing Unai Emery's praises.
They were good at home, man.
Yeah, I agree, VTEX. Villa absolutely deserve Champions League, and they have a chance to prove it this weekend. If they can beat Spurs at home, be a big step in that direction. But speaking of,
remember when we said as soon as they were close to the top, and people were like, "Hey, they could win the league," it all fell apart.
Yeah.
Well,
they had. Remember, they had that chance to go top, and they lost. They drew to Sheffield.
Yeah, man.
Sheffield.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how good of an evening Emery can make it for old Villa. But hey, man, Luton Town. Going to Crystal Palace.
Ooh.
Come on, Hatters. Come on. I've gone for a heart pick because I think Palace are trash. Although Eze is back in contention, and I expect he'll feature. But I've gone for 2-1 to the Hatters. Come on, Luton. I think I think they got enough in them. Palace haven't really improved much under the new manager. Luton aren't the same away, I know, but I think they can do it. 2-1.
You won't get any arguments from us on that one.
Yeah, definitely not. What do we think about Luton and Palace?
Well, the funny thing is Luton won 2-1 last time when they played them. So I think Luton looks like they're due for one. So I'm going to go with a 1-1.
Luton are due for one. Draw.
Draw.
What do we think, X?
I'm going to go Luton 1-0.
Nice. Come on, Hatters.
I want them. Yeah, I want them.
What'd you think, Patrick?
So looking at fixtures, just kind of looking ahead a little bit here. This is a massive, massive week for Luton. Because if they can get 3 on Crystal Palace, maybe get a draw out of Bournemouth, and Nottingham Forest loses.
Where's that Bournemouth game?
Bournemouth.
Is it at Bournemouth or is it the Kenny?
I think it's at Bournemouth.
Yeah, that's a big one too.
So if they can find a way, because here's what Luton's got, right? They've got Palace in London. Then they have Forest at the Kenny after they go to Bournemouth. So this next 7 days is massive for them in staying up or not, in my opinion.
Yeah. That Bournemouth game is their game in hand, that makeup game.
Huge.
Yeah. Yeah. So massive week for them. So I think that they're going to be, what's the word, buoyed by that, I guess you would say.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do think Palace scores because somebody's going to hit a worldie because that's all they seem to do here recently if they're going to score. So I'm going to go 2-1 Luton, and they're going to be a point away from safety.
Nice.
Because they'll be at 23. Nottingham Forest will be at 24, but they'll be even or even better goal differential by the end of the weekend.
Nice. Speaking of padding goal differential, West Ham are hosting Burnley. Sorry, Lewis. Sorry. Burnley are going to be open. They're going to play good football. They're going to look nice. They're going to make lots of mistakes, and they're going to get plammed 3-0.
Yeah, basically.
I'm going to go 4-1 West Ham.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right.
I really wish I could have afford Owen this week because he might get a brace.
The reverse fixture was 2-1 West Ham. It's 2-1 West Ham again.
Yep. What do you think, X?
2-0 West Ham.
2-0 to Burnley. All right.
I don't think Burnley scored, man.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, they're down already. They're not as bad as Sheffield. I like them more than Sheffield. Sheffield are an embarrassment, but Burnley are unfortunately lack quality. I like the way they play, though.
Came out that Burnley said they were going to stick with Vinny regardless if they go down. So I mean, maybe maybe they play harder because they know they'll have their manager. Maybe.
I like that. I hope they bounce back, and I hope Vinny bounces back as well, and we'll see him again in 2 years. Last but not least, Fulham flying high, visiting the wandering Wolverhampton Wolves, who wander and are wanderers, but are wolves and are Wolverhampton who. Yeah. This is an interesting one. I did not expect Wolves to get absolutely smacked last week by Newcastle.
Yeah.
And I did not expect Fulham to win these 2 games on the bounce. They slapped up somebody last week too. They beat Brighton 3-0, and they won at Old Trafford the week before that. So they're flying high. Molineux's a tough place to go. Molineux is a tough place to go. Gary O'Neill's got them playing good. I think he deserves a lot of credit this season. It's gonna be a tough one. This should be a fun game, though. I said 2-2.
I think it's 3-2 Fulham or Fulham, but Fulham feels more.
Fulham.
Yeah, 3-2 Fulham.
I do have a little bit of a soft spot for Fulham. They don't mind giving Americans a look. And Clint Dempsey's probably still got a soft spot for a lot of Fulham fans as well. Brian McBride as well, if you remember. Played for Fulham for a few seasons. But yeah, I think it'll be a good one. What you saying, X?
I think Fulham win. I like their recent form. God, it's hard though.
It's a close one.
I don't want to go 1-0 because I feel like there'll be goals.
There
Well,
will
the
be
Korean
goals.
guy is not playing for Wolves.
I'll go
Hwang-
2-1.
Hwang Hee-chan, 2-1 to Fulham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wahee Chan's not playing.
Yeah, he's out until mid-April. Yeah, hamstring injury.
And then you've got
And then Cunha's out too. Hamstring injury.
Cunha's
Yeah,
out.
Cunha's out for a while. Yeah.
And I
Fulham.
think
Fulham win.
Fulham.
Don't count out old Neto.
Fulham.
he's injured, isn't he?
Jao Gomez. Neto? No.
You sure?
He's not out.
No.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
No, he's not out.
What is saying, Patrick?
X, what'd you pick?
2-1.
He said 2-1 Fulham.
Okay, Fulham. Gotcha.
I'm gonna sound like Lewis here for a second. So I'm looking at form, so to speak. Fulham draw versus Burnley. At Burnley. But then 3-1 at Fulham, loss at home to Villa, 2-1 at United, and then a 3-0 at home against Brighton. But what happened last week in the Wolves is that's a weird one. It hurts me because if Chelsea doesn't win, this means we go 12th, which could also mean that we may end up 13th. Woohoo!
Bottom table, baby.
You only
I'm
need
gonna-
4 more points for safety.
You're almost to 40.
We're almost to 40. Yeah, we are. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-1 Fulham.
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 The disrespect to the Wolves, man.
It's the London teams, man.
This is the abject disrespect. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. Well, yeah, there you have it. Should be an absolutely fantastic weekend. I'm certainly looking forward to it. Yeah, man. That City Pool game is going to be epic.
It's gonna be epic.
That's going to be so epic.
It's gonna be epic.
Before we bounce for the night, since I couldn't sleep last night, I watched the U.S. women's national team because I criticized them like crazy about a week and a half ago. So I come on here and I will eat my crow anytime that they perform well. Last night was an embarrassment to U.S. soccer, though, and to CONCACAF.
No.
It was an absolute embarrassment to CONCACAF specifically. What those two teams, they deserved better, first off. Playing in a swimming pool like they had to was ridiculous. Somebody would try to make a pass and the ball would go a foot. They're trying to pass the ball, 10 feet in front of them. The ball goes a foot because it hits a puddle and dives. It was actually a fun match.
Where was it?
It was in San Diego. Yeah, they were at Snaptrack. And it had started raining during the Brazil-Mexico match. But, the rain came so hard that there was just standing water all over the place.
That was Charleston.
It was horrible.
We've played in that.
We've played in that before.
We've played in that before.
Yeah, the ball just goes like a foot when you try to pass it.
Just absolutely
We've
lace it.
below sea level before.
Yes,
so.
absolutely.
But it was actually a fun match. There were gaffes for sure. The U.S.'s first goal was on a pass back to the Canadian goalkeeper, and the ball didn't get there because it hit a puddle. Canadian goal, I think, came on a header or something like that. But second U.S. goal came off of a header to Sophia Smith. She hit a. No. That was the second. That was the one in overtime. I'm sorry. No, that was the second goal. I'm sorry. And then the second goal for Canada came off of a PK as time expired. I actually thought that an additional minute was played in that situation. It was very borderline, but it was a clear foul by the goalkeeper. She owned on it. She legitimately took the player out. Like there was.
I love how that's become a verb.
She just totally anoned it. PKs though, Canada with 3 of the worst PKs I think I've seen in a PK shootout. All 3 of them were saved. They did get 1, but US I think got 3, and so they won 3-1. Nair, even though she had the gaff there at the end that led to the PK to send it over to PKs, played very, very well. Those conditions are absolutely terrible. Like the referee even tried to stop the game multiple times to get them to postpone the game because the ball would not move. It was
who had the decision that kept telling him to play on?
The match official, the match
itself,
official, not the actual official in the game,
right? But whoever CONCACAF had assigned to the game,
said to keep playing. It was like when the U.S. would go to like.
Guatemala. It was like when Costa Rica came to town, and we made them play at Mile High in the snow.
By the way, did you see the snowstorm in Salt Lake this weekend?
Yes.
With LA.
Yeah.
With Courtois.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy, dude.
That was wild. But yeah, the reason why I'm bringing this up though is there will be Gold Cup matches on the West Coast this summer, and I hope that the stadiums will allow for this not to happen again because it was terrible soccer. It really, really was.
With as many domes as we have, there's no excuse, bro.
Well, we don't care because think about like you get literally in all the cold weather cities that it snows insanely. They refuse to put domes in those places because the fans like the elements. No,
they don't.
They don't like the elements. Stop
Chicago's about to get a dome.
Buffalo might be the only exception to that.
They don't like it either.
They don't like it.
They thrive in it. They thrive in
the Packers. The Packers for sure.
It's
Packers for sure. I just hope that if the U.S., specifically the U.S., and I know CONCACAF has a role in it, but if the U.S. is wanting to put on a good product this summer with all the opportunities that it's going to have, I hope that they have got the right facilities in mind, because I know they've already been decided, in mind, so that we don't run into this again, because it was one of the worst soccer games I watched, and it was not because it was a women's soccer game. Some people would say that. I like the U.S. national team when they actually play. They have a style. But that was like in the midfield, you couldn't play the ball more than 2 feet.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Horrible.
Well, Ray's the equalizer, man.
Yeah, well,
I mean, rain is an equalizer, but they were like playing in a pool of water.
Yeah, I know exactly.
So it was polo. It wasn't actually.
It was pretty much polo, and it was terrible. Yeah. So,
well, hopefully we can get a hold of that for anything going on this summer. Definitely, and I feel like, well, never mind. I definitely hope that they fix that if it so happens.
The finals on
this is an MLS stadium too.
Yeah.
March 10th, women against Brazil.
Yep, Sunday.
Yeah. Well, hey, we might have to tune into that after the city pool game, but yeah, should be an awesome weekend. Should be definitely lots of games to look forward to, lots of action, and we will be there. If you are as excited as we are, go ahead and smash up the likes on the video. Of course, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Subscribe if you're new. We're on our way to 200, on the way to 5, and of course to 1,000. And if you're enjoying all the comments and the content, I should say, go ahead and get the notification bell on as well. Of course, we appreciate you being here, and you will see us next time.
Come visit for